Welcome to Through a Rosy Window and Into Wellness. I'm Bev. I'll be your host for this episode. I'm a counseling hypnotherapist and co-founder of Rosy Window Productions. What do model airplanes and children have in common? They're both miniatures of something much bigger. What is the difference between model airplanes and children? If a model airplane sees a big airplane crash, they don't throw themselves off of a shelf. That started out like it was going to be a joke, and honestly, it ended a little harsher than what I had intended. But in all fairness, there is some truth to it. Kids are miniature people, and from the minute they're born, they're absorbing information from the world around them to learn, to grow, and to develop their own likes and dislikes. We've all heard the phrase, do as I say, not as I do, but we have also heard monkey see, monkey do. And I think that human nature is, the second holds a little more truth. Influencers suggest that if you want to reach a goal, you should surround yourself by like-minded people. And motivational speaker Jim Rohn so wisely stated, you will be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if adults can be influenced as such, with their fully developed sense of self, a set of acceptable norms, and who have goals in place, we can only imagine how children are influenced by the behaviors of those they hold in high regard, parents, grandparents, teachers, and peers. So we will leave the airplanes behind now and move to a different runway, your runway. Imagine a long, lean supermodel walking down that red carpeted runway. Imagine the people in the crowd admiring her posture, her grace, and poise. She moves flawlessly, and those in the audience aspire to be like some part of her, tall, slim, wealthy, bold enough to be in front of an audience, confident, and perhaps at that moment they sit straighter or are motivated to take a public speaking course. As adults, we each have our own runway 24/7, and with our behavior, others will react. Engage, turn away, work harder, laugh longer, smile brighter, or be inspired. You are an influence on the other 4 people in your closest 5. In a nutshell, modeling is a natural way that humans learn. Even as adults, if we are striving for success, we will look to the successful and model our actions on that blueprint. So how do we begin modeling good behavior? Awareness and being self-aware is sometimes challenging, especially during stressful times. Being honest with yourself and your children is a good beginning. In episode 2, we discussed reframing and how we sometimes need to take a moment to look at a situation in a realistic light, to adjust our intense emotional reaction to one that is more appropriate for the event. As we mentioned in Framing a Rosier Window, all emotions are good and need to be expressed. But we can be mindful that the anger that we are feeling over someone spilling a glass of water is not overflow from poor customer service earlier, or tension in waiting for an important phone call, or finding out that last year's New Year's outfit will not zip up anymore. Being aware of the things you want to change sometimes slaps a parent in the face. The tone of the voice that a youngster has when speaking to you, is that your tone? The huge reaction when they're frustrated, is that the way you react? Please be aware of all of the things you're doing right. Every time you see your child holding a door for someone or treating a stuffy with nurturing kindness, saying please and thank you, be proud of the kind, wonderful person that you are that has modeled that behavior. Be honest with yourself. Begin to think of what you want for yourself and for your children. You can model the behavior that impacted you as a child. These might be cherished moments from your past, your grandmother's hugs when she left after a visit, even if she was in a hurry. Feeling safe when you were tucked in and asked what was the best thing that happened to you today. You can also make note of what was not nurturing or uplifting from years ago, and make a conscious effort not to repeat those behaviors. This could break a generational cycle. Be kind to yourself. Make a conscious decision to notice the things that you do well and take pride in those behaviors that you've changed. Perhaps you'll give some extra attention to the areas that you have struggled with as an adult. Have you ever been anxious, had poor self-esteem, or negative body image? Starting children on a path to positive self-regard is so powerful and can see them through to adulthood with strong mental health. Demonstrating good self-care and a loving, positive attitude toward who you are is very important modeling. So, in a nutshell, the things that your kids see you do, that's probably how they're going to behave. If you're being a good human, that's a really good start in them growing up to be productive, nice, decent adults. But be honest with your children. When you catch yourself doing something that you wish that you had done differently, maybe a bit of road rage, explain that how you reacted was not how you wanted to react and the reasons why, and perhaps even a quick discussion about what you could have done a little differently. Just as we discussed your closest 5 being very influential, remember your children's closest 5. You have the right, the responsibility to choose and to limit the time that your children spend with different people. Another powerful learning tool is to bring modeling awareness to your children. Who can they model good behavior, kindness, and empathy to? With encouragement for good behavior, they will be proud to be the model citizen for their peers and their siblings. Without comparing our children to others, we can point out and discuss the behaviors we admire in others, bringing attention to the kind of behavior we would like our children to grow up with. Although there will be times that we hope that our children will do as we say and not as we do, we can all agree that actions do speak louder than words. So keep in mind, you are the model on a runway with the most important audience watching. As we develop this series, offering resource choices and information for adults who have children in their lives, there's always the overarching reality that it is very, very difficult to help the kids in our lives maintain good mental health if we are not on solid footing ourselves. Small changes and perseverance can take us to incredible places. When asked by a reporter how it felt to fail 1,000 times, we should remind ourselves of Thomas Edison's response. I did not fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was invented with 1,000 steps. His hope lit up the world. Where will your hope take you? Thank you for joining us today. We will end with a guided meditation, and we hope you will join us again for some hands-on resources in our next episode. Unless you're listening to this while you're driving or engaged in an activity that requires your full attention, you can just sit back. Close your eyes. Notice your breathing. When we notice our breath, it's just a lovely way to let our mind and our body know of our intention to relax. You can just feel a nice wave of relaxation moving down through your shoulders and down through your body. Allowing yourself to settle in, to let your whole body relax. Perhaps you can let your mind wander and think of a wonderful sunny day, a typical day. Perhaps it's in the morning when you're getting ready to go to work, moving through the routine of your day perhaps, and as you're noticing all of the things that you do in a day, you can just imagine going through your day-to-day activities, being on that runway, and realizing all of those things that you do are offering your children the opportunity to have such a lovely childhood. And now, more than ever, the world is so fast-paced, and it's so lovely that you can just take a moment and relax and rest. To think about what a wonderful privilege it is to have these children in our lives. And when we think about how we are all on our own path, on our own runway, we can become more and more aware of our actions. We can tune in to how we're feeling, how our body is feeling, and sometimes we can just take a moment, step back, invite a feeling of peaceful calm into our body before we respond or react. And how wonderful it is that you can show them that it's okay to take a moment, to take a breath, to think things through for that moment before reacting. And each and every day you're finding the time to take a moment, to take a breath, and to contemplate what a wonderful job you're doing. All of the positive things that you do for yourself and your family each and every day. Taking that extra moment to hold that door for someone. To offer kind words and a smile. Isn't it wonderful as you're interacting with the children in your life? Perhaps you're in a classroom, or you're coaching, or with your own children. You can just imagine going through your day-to-day activities, being on that runway, and leading the way for them to grow up to be happy, healthy adults. It's so healthy and wonderful for children to see a wide range of emotions and how we can follow through and find solutions, talk to somebody when we need to. It's challenging to be a parent, a coach, a teacher, and all of these wonderful children learning and growing with their own personalities and their own likes and dislikes. How great it is that you can effortlessly show them how to communicate well, be open and honest. How wonderful it is that moving through this privilege of having these children around you, that you are leading the way for them to enjoy a happy, healthy childhood, and leading the way for them to grow to be healthy, happy adults. And now noticing your breath, calm, refreshed. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and look forward to the rest of your wonderful day.